Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Stop by Sherwin-Williams and get 30% off select paints and stains May 2nd through the 12th. It's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Refresh your home inside and out with colors that make every space feel brand new. From cozy interiors to stunning exteriors, we've got the perfect shade for your next project. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to High School Hoops with your hosts, Steve Collins and Jake Stager.
All right, welcome. As Coach is rubbing his head, those of you that are listening, it's pretty funny because we just talked about this topic prior to coming on. But I'm not gonna. If you read the episode thing, you'll know what it's about. But anyway, you already know. But before we do that, I'd like to give a big shout out to our two sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish. Go over and check them out. Mention us, you'll get $450 off. And they trust me. I've had multiple people tell me that you mention us, and they'll take very, very, very good care of you. And then also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It is everything you want to do to become a high school basketball coach. It's exactly what I would have wanted at 31-ish, whatever I was when I got my first head job. I would have literally run in the street and anyway. I would have done something stupid to go get this thing. And that's why I made it. It will help you. It'll help your team in multitudes of ways, one-on-one calls, office hours, handouts, everything you would need. Okay. So today we're going to talk about the new high school basketball rule that the NFHS.
It doesn't impact Coach Collins or myself this season with our teams because we are halves in the state of Wisconsin. So it's irrelevant to us, but we would like to talk about it because it's obviously relevant to many other listeners across the country.
I would think it's more than not. And the reason is, here's the reason. In Wisconsin, we play 2 18-minute halves. So therefore, we're not following the National Federation of State High School Coaches Association, NFHS. Can't get that out. I don't like that. Anyway, we don't follow their rules, so therefore we're not voting members. Therefore, we will not follow this rule. Not sure why. Anyway,
interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting that women play quarters too in college, and we play anyway. I think it's a little sexist. Get me started. I don't dislike halves. I just think I wish we had another timeout, but that's a different. That's what I would change in our rules in our state is okay. Leave the 18-minute halves, but give me another timeout. We still only have 5 timeouts like all of you do. So it doesn't affect us, but I know I've talked to a multitude of coaches around the country that it does. So I want to dive into this, and you and I can kind of figure out how this is going to work. So those of you that don't know, fouls are going to you still 5 fouls and you foul out. That hasn't changed. It's not like we're going to the NBA and it's more fouls. So it's still 5 fouls and you're gone, which is not sure why people get disqualified, or it should be maybe more, but that could be a discussion at some point. But so they've eliminated it resets each quarter, and then after it says you get 2 shots, there's no bonus anymore, no 1-and-1. No, make the first one to get to the second one. There's no 1-and-1 by the federation. However, so they've eliminated the 1-and-1, and you get 2 shots after the 5th foul. So on the 6th foul each quarter, you get 2 shots. Okay. And then the first quarter ends, it starts at 0 again. And then on the 6th foul, second quarter, it's 2 shots. So the statistician in me is kind of wondering, like I've watched enough of women's NCAA where they kind of do this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it's going to affect the game.
For me, when I started coaching, we were still in quarters, and I'm trying to think how many times were I ever in a bonus situation in the first quarter, and I would say never. So
it's going to be less free throws. Do you think it's going to be less free throws?
I do, because it's going to reset. I do.
Yeah, because it's on the 6th rather than on the 7th. So that means you have to get in the bonus in a quarter. So, yeah, you're right.
Okay, let's put in consideration this, Steve. Okay. The fourth quarter, all right. If you have 5 fouls and they got 4 fouls and the game is close, like for us, if you had 5 team fouls, right? And we're going in the fourth quarter and it's a tight game, we only have to foul once or twice to get that situation so we could have that opportunity to get the ball back. You're talking about now?
And then for 7, 8, and 9, you get the 1 and 1. So if they miss the front end.
Now you got to foul 5 times in the fourth quarter to get to that, and they get 2 free throws.
And they get 2 free throws.
The big thing for me is how games will end and how that will affect end of game situations. If you really think about it.
Because it's really changed. So then this might take care of not needing a shot clock.
Why?
If I foul you, no, I'm just trying to think of how it will. So let's say you're beating me and I start fouling you.
Yeah.
You're holding the ball, so I got to foul you at that. I guess this could be a movement toward needing the shot clock or wanting it.
Well, then I start to think about,
because you're winning, and I only got 3 team fouls. I got to get 3 more fouls, and then you're going to get 2 free throws. So I really got to almost shoot a 3 at this point, or hope that you miss one.
I feel like it makes the end of games more uglier, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Because think about if a game is neck and neck, and it's a real tight game, okay? Say me and you are playing, and we're going in the fourth quarter, and it's 44-44. And there's 2 minutes left in the game, and you only have 2 team fouls because you had to erase all the ones that you had. So you had 14 fouls let's say you had 14 fouls in the third quarter, and now those go away. And then you get 2 in the second.
And you only got so many players on your team with fouls, too.
But like the old way would have been like, all right, you got 4, right? And say we're in the fourth quarter, you got 2. That would give you 6. You're 1 away from bonus. Not anymore. That all goes away. And now you got to go, got to go to. I mean, it's a double bonus situation.
Here's a thought for coaches that are listening to this. It's almost like you'll need a special teams of kids that are 9 through 14 to go in and pressure and foul. Because if you start fouling with your guy, if you need to get into the double bonus,
especially if they're calling the game tight in the third quarter and you're getting in foul trouble already, and then all that is erased going into the fourth quarter, what do you do then?
Right. You need a special.
My question is, what was the purpose behind it?
I don't know. I think they must have seen something in the women's game that they liked, as far as, how those free throw procedures were done.
Okay.
So, I think less free throws will be shot. Now, it doesn't matter if I'm still shooting. So now if I gotta, I mean, it's not, this is only like a common foul.
But what about just like sheer
shooting,
momentum?
you're still going to get.
It takes a way longer duration to shoot 2 free throws instead of 1.
Yes, that is true. But if I'm going to the rack and I get fouled and I make it, I can still get a 3-point play. That doesn't. These are like common.
I'm just talking a common foul. And now you have 2 free throws instead of 1.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a longer duration. It's an extra 10 and how long? 10 seconds. Well, probably another 15, 20 seconds per possession of free throw shooting.
Right.
That's a long time. You really think about it.
Yeah, I think there's going to be less free throw shot. It'd be interesting to look at what happened in the women's game. And will it affect the resetting? Probably makes the flow better, right? Because you're not stopping. It's not going to happen as often, I'm thinking. I don't know.
Maybe. I'm just trying to think how coaches will be able to,
because you're not carrying the fouls, like you said. You're not carrying the fouls from quarter 1 to quarter 2, and you're not carrying them over from quarter 3 to quarter 4. You're resetting.
Yeah, but the only quarter that really impacts is that fourth quarter.
And I think it affects the second quarter
a little bit,
because all of a sudden you were getting into the bonus. So on the on that 6th foul, it's only one more foul, and we were used to being the bonus.
Right.
So
going in.
That's where my thought is, as we dive into this a little bit, that's where my thought is maybe the flow, it helps the flow a little bit.
Till the very end.
Yeah. Till the very end.
It can be
I
very
don't know.
ugly.
And that's what I think, we're going to have to do. What I'd like to do with this is do a follow-up
I would like to be able to get a couple coaches on here. Maybe they can go on our Facebook and say, hey, I would like to know how this is going.
Yes.
Just to see, because I guess I'm not. I guess I'm not trying to be critical. I'm trying to think about how is this going to work.
Yes, and I think we should plan on the spring after the season's over. After this,
because I think it's a decision that will change the game.
Yes, I think it's like the 3-point line. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do a whole thing of I don't know why we don't have one set of rules for basketball.
Yeah,
we should just have one set of rules. Like, why are we have all these rules? Like, you play here, you do this, you play here. Like, I'm not even talking about the U.S. I'm talking about can't we come up with a set of rules? Like, what are our set of? Anyway, And my pet peeve. You know what my pet peeve is?
What?
That as far as rule changes, it needs to happen. I'm gonna start a petition. We need to get rid of the jump ball to start the game. The dumbest thing ever. There's one jump ball in most high school basketball games. It's to start the game. Why do we jump the ball? We should give the visiting team the ball to start every.
So what do you do? What do you do when you get to a neutral court?
Then you flip a coin.
Okay.
And then it's alternating possession. And there's two theories. First of all, it's archaic. No one practices it. No. Now the NBA is different. Obviously, they jump every tied up ball. But why do we do this? It's there's half the new gyms don't have the circle drawn anymore because we don't jump them anymore in there. So why?
Are there any states that don't use a jump ball?
No, they did it during COVID, I believe.
Yeah, I know they did.
And that's where we should go back to. That's one of the few things.
So would it, no matter the start of the second half, would you give the alternate?
No, it would stay alternating the rest of the game.
No matter what.
No matter what. So you're the visitor, you get maybe one more. Maybe. So you kind of neutralize maybe being on the road. It is literally one of the things I want changed about the game of basketball. I also want a bigger court but that's never going to happen. This is an easy change. This is just write it out and it's done. The court's too small now for collegiate and pros probably, and it's in high level high school. It's too small. The court's too small. It should be playing. Every high school should be playing on a 94-foot floor, and probably a wider floor. It's too small right now. The bodies are too big, in my opinion. But I don't think anything's. So that's just a couple foods for thoughts for you for high school hoopers out there. Let me know. Leave comments down below of what you think. And until next week, Coach.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.